Hello, Luxury Home Show. I'm Olga Doykhen, an interior designer. We're in Southern California, and this is my home that I designed myself. I can't wait to show you around. You come in and you have this moment where you see how high the ceilings are and so much natural light. As a person who loves to cook, loves to entertain, all the materials that I chose, obviously it was meant to be for me because, I love it's everything is very tactile. A lot of people love to say, oh, it's, like a hotel. It's not. It's a house. I love that it feels like home. So before I show you inside, I want to show you my front yard, my landscape, and obviously talk a little bit about the architecture. We originally have a Spanish Revival home, but it was done very builder grade. And I supervised the landscape. I didn't do it myself, but my number one priority was privacy and very low maintenance. I don't have time for that. Here we did a little nook where you can have a sitting zone. It's a really open street and it's very beautiful. And you can sit outside and watch your neighbors walk their dogs. We wanted a Mediterranean feel. And we sort of get rid of all the palms and got the cypress trees, olive trees, and everything that looks way more European than it was before. Right on the home, everything that you see, every architectural feature were foam. We added wood, we added columns, we had that Juliet balcony for the privacy, which I'll show you later on. This is a master. And then we added stone for it, but we kept all the features intact to this house. So before we head home, there's another entry sequence that you see here. We had a lawn with natural grass. Right there, you can see fruit trees. We did it all for, first of all, the privacy and the kids' safety. We have latches on the gates, so kids cannot get out. I just love how green it is and very lush. And also, before it was sort of a very closed off with railing, a patio, I would say, and we added those beautiful columns, we added this beautiful plaster. Everything that was here, including, all around, was foam. So we added spruce, so all natural wood all around, and then to sort of have this little play between old and new. I really love those Louis Poulsen fixtures. That is very, very modern. And then you kind of gonna feel that in my home, that were the play between something very classy, Spanish colonial, revival, and then very, very modern pieces. So we are here in the entry. I want to talk a little bit about this because this was outside before. And as I'm heritage from Europe, I love that my shoes are kept in, that my clothes are in. So I wanted to have this entry sequence where you come in, you take all your worries off, you put them back in right here in a little beautiful custom closet with rattan and oak. And I wanted this transition from the gate to this limestone that actually comes in. So this is a sort of connection between inside and outside. And then we have a beautiful chandelier here. We have a spruce again all over our ceiling. And we have light that is all around. I'll show you in a little bit. And then after seeing this, you come in and you have this moment where you see how high the ceilings are and how warm the beams and how beautiful windows and so much natural light. And that was probably number one thing that I loved about this home. It was very dated before, even though this built in, probably 2006 or 2009. And the first thing I loved, yes, it was a beautiful natural light that we wanted to bring in more and more. So a lot have changed here because the first thing you would see, it was one window. It was arched, it was one window with two small ones on that wall. And then we had a fireplace actually where the TV is right now. And it's very interesting because When you enter, the first thing you wanted to see is the fireplace. You want it to be central, you want it to be symmetrical, and it's sort of, right in the middle of the living room. And now it feels so much more balanced after we moved it. Underneath, we have a beautiful custom bench. And I worked very hard with engineer and low voltage guys to make this possible because stone is very, very heavy. So it's a very beautiful piece. I love how, almost unseen it is, but when the guests are coming, we shove in all the toys, do this, and no toys around. The other thing is the connection between, again, indoor and outdoor, and it was very important. So just having this was very important for me. This is a bifolding door, and it opens up to our entertainment area. We have a beautiful wooden grill, a fireplace, and the pool, and we can completely connect this room to outside and to the outdoor patio. In here, well, it's the heart of a home, I feel like. Besides the kitchen, which I'll show you next. But this is a beautiful B&B sofa. I took unkillable textiles because, my child runs around, plays, and as you can see, it's very rounded. Again, for the same reasons, for the safety. The poof went all the way from Germany. It's made of a coconut husk. It's compressed, and it's also very soft, which is, I feel, a good feature in the living room. It's very cozy. You also can, put a tray with your drinks or, popcorn, and watch a movie. And if you can see, it's very modern. It's very low. We're, playing around with highs and lows, with darks and lights. A lot of shadow, if you can see from our grid from the windows. And then it's not very bright. I worked in interior design, so it gets a little bit too much for me to be in lots of color. So in my own home, I wanted a lot of texture. And I'm a very tactile person. I love wood, and I love all the natural materials, and then leather, wool, as I said, a coconut husk, a metal, and everything is just really nice to the touch. And all the furniture was custom made specifically for this space and under my drawings. And I love that because it answers all my needs. We wanted here, wanted books, some we actually keep DVDs still. That's how old school we are. Hi, Sophie, come on. Good girl. Yeah, it's my little pups. She's very old. She's almost 14. And she's another little piece in my own home. Right, girl? I really want to talk about portals. In my home, we wrap them in silver travertine. I feel it adds so much oomph to it. It's just so non-generic, and also it's very practical because, my child takes the scooter, we bring luggage in, so the corners stay corners. So here are the beautiful piece. We stripped it all, to be honest. It was overwhelmingly outdated. Now it just has very clean lines, and it became a feature in the living room. And also it's something that you see first when you enter. And obviously beautiful chandelier. We have staircase that have light up, and then those beautiful bocce chandeliers that is just gives it, beautiful feel. I love the oak wood. We used it throughout the home, and then very, very simple linear iron. The reason is, as what I mentioned outside, I wanted to combine the Spanish colonial or Spanish revival with very, very modern, minimalistic clean lines. So usually space underneath the staircase I left untouched, but I made this a little cozy sort of nook with all my little design pieces. And I feel if you want to actually know a little bit more about our process, we launched our YouTube channel. And I talk a lot about how I work, how I design, and how do I pick my materials and my decor. So this long corridor actually separates house in two. That way it's going to be my library and a study where I do all my work, guest bedroom, and then that way would be another office, laundry, and the kitchen. But here right now we are in a dining room. It's another thing that is attached to the living room, which is all about what I said about the flow. We have a combo of light wood and dark wood, which is again a play of light and dark. And a lot of things that came from Europe. And I really love, we did a water feature here, and just listen how beautiful it is. It's a really cool feature to have lunch or dinner and hear the water trickling. So also I love the scones by Vibia. They're very modern. I love the combo of very, grounded sculptural stone and very light fixtures. They're adding a very soft light. You can play with, obviously with the dimmers. They're made of metal. And I feel like they're adding that whole feel of what I was trying to accomplish, lighten the space up. So where you're standing right now, it's supposed to be a wall. This was very closed off. And a person who loves to entertain need to see her guests. So we did open this up. So before it was a pretty big pantry. Now this is a very cool open space. We have a coffee station there, a pantry there, and it's pretty enough for me. We love cooking more fresh foods. We don't keep a lot of things in our pantry. Everything about it being completely redone. From flipping the kitchen completely, opening obviously that wall, and to have everything work for me as a person who loves to cook, loves to entertain, and all the materials that I chose, obviously it was meant to be for me because I love it's everything is very tactile. We have silver travertine that is leathered, and I'm so in love with the natural materials, and I use them throughout my designs. And I know a lot of people are so scared about staining and everything, but I think this is history. This is what it makes this house talk about itself. What's this party about? Where did you spill the wine? Where did you cook? And obviously a gigantic sink, 2 dishwashers that, very comfortable because everything was, made together. So from dishwasher coming here, putting it silverware right here, everything's designed, every detail was about the flow, like how I function, how I love to cook. And, here's a little jar where my fermentation going, kvašna kapustka, which is a fermented cabbage. We love to ferment and pickle our stuff. I feel like this is going through my blood. And we always have something, either cabbage, carrots, radishes. So I love that. And it's also, I think it's a pretty cool piece, right? Could be a little decoration. Other thing that you actually seen around is very clean and very sleek. But everything is hidden. I do not love clutter. And I think this is probably one of my biggest accomplishments here because there's nothing. But there is. All my appliances are hidden. Everything is, hidden in the spaces. All my dishes are hidden except, the ones that I use every single day. And then the other thing is that you can bring this color and seasons into your space with flowers and a little decor. I don't want it to use a lot of colors in my own home. And as I mentioned, texture was, the main. Here we have a Gaggenau piece. We did a little thing with it. We put the controls right on the travertine. It was a hard thing to do. We tried a couple of things to do, so we ordered special extensions here, but this has made it very sleek, I feel like. And again, it's super durable. They dropped in, so there's no food pieces going around. It always stays clean. Somebody's against the pot fillers. I love this piece because I do love my borscht and I do love my soups. So that's always, helps me, not carrying a lot of big pots around. And also, you can tell that for some, it's not, for California luxury homes, this kitchen is not that gigantic. We don't have a gigantic island, but it has everything in it and everything I needed. And, all of my drawers are, precise. I know where everything goes. I know where everything holds. And we have a little secret storage in here also for the things that I use barely. And it's all functional. We have drawers in here. You can just gut in. It's all my baking stuff. I bake very rarely. And also this little corner. As I said, little pieces, little nooks and crannies. My daughter always have breakfast here. So, there's some chips already on the chair and so on. But it makes my heart warm because I know it's already been, a couple of years and we already making history in this house. We have a beautiful coffered ceilings that we added to get this Spanish Revival feature, but the spruce has this knots and warmth of it that brings to that very high ceilings that, you don't feel like you're in a, open space. So I want to talk a little bit about those beautiful chandeliers. They're from Bocce. And as you can see, they're not lined up. And I'll show you why when we're going to go upstairs, because upstairs there is a hole which is open to the kitchen. And from the hole, you can see the chandeliers, which was more up. You can see it closer to comparing to the way it was more down. And because everything is so symmetrical here, it's a sort of a little joke from me. I don't know, still laughing. And the other fun part is same company, but they have their own, daughter companies called 22 Systems. We did those beautiful plugs are in the stone. We have it throughout the kitchen, and I'm also having them in the bathrooms too, because all our bathrooms are plaster, which I also really love. So we have this beautiful pocket doors that brings you right outside, and the flow just works, from the kitchen to the outdoor dining. We added spruce right here with the heaters. Sometimes California winters are cold and we love to spend time outside. We added those beautiful arches. They separate the space but also combine it. And again, the materials go from one to the other, so it's a continuity of what you see coming from the kitchen to this, lounge area with a fireplace. And then we have Kalamazoo wood fire grill. As I said, I love to cook, and this guy is fire. We have a smoker, and this is again the silver travertine, the same guys we used in the kitchen, is just matte finish. And then right here before was nothing. We added the pool with the plaster, so it goes with the home, and the landscaping is actually sort of features the house and brings all the architectural features, so it pops. And I love that we also have this kind of a health thing going on in California. We added cold plunge, the sauna, the outdoor shower. I'm loving the cold plunge, to be honest. Mornings with the cold plunge, you're getting your flush, your lymphatics going, and you're ready for work. And this place is, we love to entertain. I come with my girlfriends come in, we do sauna, we do grilling, we stay by the fire, we see our kids playing and jumping on the couch when the bifolding door is open. Everything flows. This is sort of a circled around. So this is an office, which is also placed sometimes as a guest bedroom if you have a lot of people staying. This is a sleeper sofa. I did this beautiful feature wall. We designed it to, have a storage space and sort of continue with the play of, all the natural materials. Again, some modern touches. And I love the continuity of the brass and oak and leather and wool in my home. So we use it throughout the space. And all of this is storage, obviously, and everything is used, everything is functions. It's not just for pretty. It's this is a lighter tone. I wanted to play with the honey tones throughout my house. The kitchen is a little darker, and I feel this is perfect for my Zoom calls. Now we're in the era of Zoom. Again, layered lighting throughout, which is, I think a big importance. And now we can come in to our library / my study art room. But before, there's a little gem I want to show you. This is a powder room. And a very cool part about it is we also use travertine, which a different color. It's called storm travertine. And it's, again, has this brass vola fixtures and handles that just brings this color, just pops. And also we have those plugs, again, the 22 system plugs and the plaster. And I feel, again, you can see me touching everything, all this, because texture is everything. Wood, plaster, everything. So here, as you can see, we have a different material. First of all, there's a step down, and I wanted to show the difference so, nobody falls or anything. But the other thing was the functionality. I do my art sometimes, and I do work here a lot, so this is a more of a durable flooring. We have custom shelving everywhere. I have a lot of books. I love to cook, so you see on that side, it's a lot of cooking books, and then on this side, everything is about literature and home interior, architecture, decor. I love to pick my inspirations from books and magazines. I do not like Pinterest. I'm sorry. But I feel that's, a perfect place here for me to just being inside my little nook and create. And I feel like everything around me right now is helping me to do so. The natural light, the beautiful architectural rug, this set by hay. But obviously I couldn't just sit on the chair, this is a perfect one for my back. And then I'm hoping we're gonna get my daughter to start doing piano classes. I'm not sure about it, but maybe. And also when my clients come in, I invite them here. There's a actually door right in, so they don't need to go through whole house. And, we can have a couple glasses of champagne. We talk about our projects. I put my stuff on TV. We sit here all around and talk and, and make decisions. And I feel this is a perfect representation of how I work and what I do. I'll come in for, if you want to be guests in my house, we have a beautiful guest bedroom. Also, I want to mention what we did with those doors. This is a really cool company from Miami. It's called Yours Doors. They're solid, and obviously the sound doesn't go through. But the best part is that you probably didn't notice, but the ceilings, if they're not, two-story, like kitchen and living room, they're really, really low. And those doors that goes all the way to the ceiling brings your eye up and so sort of elongates the walls. And I feel like now, but just by looking, into the corridor, you don't feel it's cramped. It doesn't, sit on your head. So coming in, it's very cozy. I wanted to make this room very inviting, very cozy. And a lot of people love to say, oh, it's, like a hotel. It's not. It's a house. I love that it feels like home. Every detail we, thought through, if you can see, this headboard is literally the same size as this, behind wall. We have a light fixture, and I feel like it brings it all together, and again, brings that warmth. And what do you do in the 4 white walls? Obviously we wanted to bring some interest inside. And again with the materials, this is porcelain, and this is leather, again, oak, and wool rug. And another cool feature, well, first of all, it has the same travertine, that we use throughout, but it's also flush. There's no step in. And a lot of guests are telling me, oh God, it's gonna be a water splashes and everything. It's heated floors. There is a little bit of splash. It will dry in 5 to 10 minutes and you'll be fine. And I absolutely love that we did those custom pieces as vanities. We elevated them. It's a pretty small, tight space. And by elevating my vanities, I'll give this air underneath. And also, if I'm allowed to talk about toilets, this beauty is by Stark. And it's also elevated and gives some space, and also it has a heated seat, which my guests absolutely love. Well, now let's take you upstairs. Well, this is our staircase. I feel like it's a beautiful architectural piece now. And the view from here to the living room is just breathtaking. I know. Can I say compliments to myself? We had actual beams here, but they were metal, so I didn't feel the warmth that I wanted to feel, and we wrapped them in spruce. And also, as you see that, continuity from that little chandelier that we had in the guest bedroom, we used from the same series, one right here and one right there. And again, it's kind of brings it all together. So we have this beautiful, almost, fragile chandelier, which is such a good combo between this iron heavy railing. And we have this, sort of theme going throughout of light and dark, cold and warm. And here you can see a lot of masculine and feminine, I think, in this sort of like angles in this space. So after the landing, we are right there in a corridor, which we have the same exact corridor underneath us. And again, it separates this, story into one side is my daughter's side and one side is mine. Welcome to my primary bedroom. I made it as cozy as possible. To be honest, again, as an interior designer, I tried to stay very subtle with the colors. It's a lot of natural colors, a lot of earthy tones. And as you can see, again, texture everywhere. I love those scones by Pinch. I was so worried that they were a little bit smaller for this space, but they have this natural feel to it, and the light is so warm. Beautiful Maxalto bed, and I feel like this is again something very traditional that we had to play on with Spanish Revival. And then again, we have a super modern chandelier above us. A grasshopper right there, and a boucle, chair where I love to read or do my red light therapy. I feel this, a lot of people say boucle is out. I don't think so, and I don't think they'll be out ever. Another thing that we have here, which was not in here, is fireplace. We literally built it from scratch. And please remember the pattern of this travertine. It's another one. As you know, I love to use my materials in different spaces. You're going to see that one in my primary bath. And then the master is very cozy, is very serene. And then the best part of my room, and it's many, many layers because the curtains, as you see, we have 3 different layers of curtains. So when it's dark, it's actually very dark. Right now you only can see me because of the light, but my bathroom is just, it's very interesting though. It's not your usual master. We separated it with a shower in the middle. So you have this wow moment when you enter and you come in right here. You have this view of the bathtub and the material just shines. The material just gives it. It's just a piece of art right now for, you know, if I can say, but it's about the stone because it's just, it doesn't need anything anymore besides this. And also we have this brass chandelier, and if you can see, it also gives it like a little shadow. So the light comes from here, it comes up, and you have this little shadow right on the ceiling. And it is so romantic during night when just this light is on. And obviously, I love to watch some Netflix shows or our luxury home show. I put that on TV right there. I lay in this bathtub and, you know, I watch it and spend some evenings soaking up. As the other bathrooms, we also have a heated floors, and there's 2 sinks, both on different sides, and you can say his and hers. There is this controls that's, you know, controlling the flooring, and also this extra door that I made that, you know, goes right into my closet. And behind this wall was a bedroom. Obviously, I love fashion as I love the design, so I needed a bigger closet. And we got space out of that bedroom. This was the wall before. This is how big primary bath was. And now we added pretty big amount of space. So it's, I don't know, it's bigger, it's more spacious. I want to talk a little bit about toilet again. I know nobody talks about toilets, but that slab right there is just, dang, I love it. And to make it even more architectural, we added 3 arches. So the arch that is in the middle is window, and then 2 arches on the sides that, you know, bring some of my, you know, perfume and little decor pieces, obviously a lot of storage. And to be honest, this bath has a lot of storage. You know, we have everything hidden everywhere. Again, there's the thing that I love, you know, very minimalistic, nothing outside. This is a beautiful work from the New York artist. He made it custom for me. I absolutely love this piece. It was gigantic, and there was a whole pane to bring it up. And I feel like this gives it such a cool thing because you can see from downstairs, upstairs in this corridor, you can see the chandelier. And when you look in it, you can see the outside. You can see the greenery of the windows. And it makes this just a simple corridor, a simple hallway, a little bit more fun. You can give a little sneak peek in this beautiful room. This is my closet, and it's a little dark, specifically so my purses are stay safe, but everything is custom made here. The beautiful part is that we have brought all the fixtures, all the hardware from Europe. And this is I love to show this. This is so much saving space. I haven't not seen a lot of this in United States, but this is what we use in Europe all the time. So you can have all your closets all the way to the ceiling, and it's easy to use. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. And I love the custom glass that we did because it can seal my clothes through it. And again, brass hardware, a little step stool if I need to pick up, you know, my hats and scarves. And also, again, the doors, every door here, it is more than 8 feet. This is the part that I wanted to talk about. And I started talking about when we were in the kitchen about the chandelier. So when you step out, you can actually see that this chandelier is almost the same length as where we're standing right now. So it's sort of leveled with me. And then separating this space, we added the spruce portals, same wood as we used on a coffered ceiling. Again, to separate the space between, you know, transitioning from living into, again, a kitchen, even though we're on a second floor, to another extra living room, which is my daughter uses as a playroom. I love, again, little architecture features, little nooks, storage. This, you know, plays a big part in the home. It's not always functionality. I love some pretty stuff. Peche-up chair, which is absolutely comfortable. I love to sit in it. I love to watch my daughter doing her, you know, art or playing around. Obviously, I cleaned this up. We only have a couple of things, but this is her library with all her kids' books. And this is a cool room because it's very playful with the chandelier and also very durable materials, but something that she can grow into. Obviously, she's not going to be a toddler all her life. You know, she's going to turn into a teenager. She needs to study. She needs to, you know, watch TV with her friends. And I feel like this space is always going to transition with her, which was my goal in this space. And right now with, you know, again, you don't really see toys, but there's a lot of them. When all the toys are out, it looks like a playroom, but you will obviously, year 2, 3, 4, you'll see this room transitioning with her age. Here's attached to this room, her bedroom. And I feel, again, that we accomplished this playfulness with, you know, Spanish Revival features because we added those beams. The beams were not here, and natural materials in drapery, but then some fun, you know, it's obviously kids' bedrooms. There's some fun rug and, you know, that fun chandelier. We'll have a lot of storage. Again, it's all oak, and, you know, I absolutely love that she has the space that she can grow into because she has her own closet, she has her own bath, and, you know, it's pretty big closet, I would say. The cool feature about this, first of all, I love those mirrors that are very modern, but they give this such a beautiful, warm lighting. Also, the cool part is that we use, again, the travertine everywhere, and this is a Roman travertine, very classic travertine, some travertine that, you know, used in Rome. And this is what my designs are, you know, separate from the others. I absolutely love those materials that stay throughout centuries. I love that we added bathtub. Would every mother need a bathtub for a child? And also we squeezed in a shower, and the materials here, again, plaster that I absolutely love, and it's almost as a tactilite, which used in Morocco. The thing about it, you know, my daughter does the splashes and the water is literally to the ceiling, but as you can see, it's not stained. It dries really fast, and it's water resistant, mold resistant, and you know, and it gives that warm, cozy feel. And also on the other side, if you transition from bedroom to this extra living room, we call them twin bedrooms because this is exactly the same size as my daughter's room, but it's just for my guests. It has the continuity again with the same chandelier. It's a little smaller, but this room is a little bit colder on the side. We used a little bit of earthy grays, I would say gray beige, whatever those called. And I feel we accomplished this adult space, you know, even though it comes right after the playroom where all the toys are, and it gets this sanctuary feel. And I feel in this room is the most where you can see the difference between cold and warm tones. And I feel like in this tapestry is also interesting play on it. And it gives this, I don't know, it feels, I love this room. And then again, it's attached with closets, pretty big closet with rattan inlay, oak, and another bathroom. No bathtub, unfortunately. It's too small. Thank you, Luxury Home Show, for visiting my house. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. And if you want to reach me, there's information down below in the description, and you can subscribe to our new YouTube channel. And also, if you really like this episode, I'm pretty sure you're going to love this one.
Hey, Luxury Home Show. My name is Kim Lapine. I'm an interior designer in Los Angeles. Welcome to my home. So we are in my entryway, and when we first came to look at this house, it was very cozy and homey, but very outdated.